Xin chao. How is everyone? So there's a pretty big update today. There's a 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th case. One came from a lady that was in London. She had traveled all over. She was in Italy, where they think the mutated strand is at, the stronger one. She came back here. She got 2 more people infected so far as of that we know. The 18th victim is separate from that. He was a 27-year-old guy from Daegu. He's under quarantine. She's under quarantine. She's said to now, just as of an hour ago, be over the fever and getting much better, which is good. Every China, Italy, Iran, and South Korea person that comes in to Vietnam will now do a mandatory 14-day quarantine no matter what. March 15th, Hanoi will go back to school. Sounds like March 15th that Ho Chi Minh's going back to school for the 12th graders as well. All people arriving from any country now will need a health declaration. Just doesn't matter if it's to hotspots, anywhere. You have to have a health declaration letter. Hanoi, because of this woman that came back from London that had the infection, Hanoi has quarantined 176 people in 22 households, including her street, all the houses around it, and all the people that are on that street. 4 people from her flight in London, since it landed in Hanoi, they had a layover, a transit flight, then to Ho Chi Minh. So 4 people from that flight live in District 1. Not really good for a tourist coming to stay here and have fun. Especially one of them was staying at Boi Vinh hotel in Boi Vinh. So that's alarming. If you plan on coming here and going to District 1, that doesn't sound like the greatest of ideas right now. Back to the London woman, the official 17th case. She had direct contact with 33 people. 25 negative so far, and then 90 indirect is what they're counting at least a minimum right now. So it's not looking good for. By the way, she's already gotten 2 infected. It seems like she has, and who knows how many more she got infected when she was in Italy, London. I think where else? She was in London, Paris. Wow, she's been all over the place. London, Italy, Paris, London, and then back to here. So. She probably initially was sick around the 19th or the 25th. They're not sure yet, somewhere in between there. The 29th is when she had a cough, when she developed a cough, and she didn't get checked out. That's a big problem, especially if she has this new strain. They haven't confirmed the mutation, but I mean, every real scientist and every PhD guy that's on infectious diseases, Peak Prosperity is a great channel to watch for this. I'm sure he'll be discussing Vietnam tomorrow and what's happening here. So let me get serious here. In Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh, the grocery stores have been overrun all day. Stuff is sold off the shelves. I have dozens of photos to prove this. I'll put it in the video so you can see for yourself. Lines are 1 to 2 hours to queue out. Heck, even the condoms have sold out. Many things are selling out very fast. All the grocery stores, people are trying to go and buy up, a month's worth of supply like they already should have, slowly, so it didn't have a large impact to the system. But I mean, react instead of be proactive, I guess, is the way a lot of people do this. I'm fully prepped, so I'm not worried about that. They're now officially saying people over 60 should just stay inside. Let's see what else. 33 all from 15 family, 18 at the hospital, and in total are in quarantine from this girl. 15 of her family, and then 18 people that worked at the hospital are in quarantine. Let's see. 9 tourists in D1 are under quarantine from the connecting flight that came out of Hanoi. 7 Indians that were on Bu Tai Xuan Street, and then 2 that were on Pasture Street in D1. but they're all under quarantine. They're all getting looked at. They're trying to track down anybody they had direct contact with. The 19th, the official 19th victim was the driver, was just her private driver. I mean, people are praising her a little bit that she at least took a private driver and not a taxi, so more than likely he didn't spread it too much, hopefully not. And then the 20 is her 64-year-old auntie. So it is not good. It seems like she's going to be a presenter of the super spreader bug. We don't know yet. We can't be sure. But it's a whole lot of stuff to unpack. The other big problem here is that we're having is it doesn't look good. And I mean, Iran added 1,000 cases overnight to bring their total to 5,800. South Korea added 448. That's a total of 7,000. I mean, wow. Germany added 50 more. France added 60 more. I mean, the numbers are starting to kind of jump up everywhere now. It's slowly but surely. China only recorded 99 new cases today, which is sow, and only 28 deaths. I don't know that I believe those numbers. Like I said in my last couple videos, I think South Korea, Iran does some of the best reporting. I do think Vietnam's doing a good job with this, as I've said in the past few videos. They seem to be very proactive instead of reactive. They're taking the precautions. They're trying to track down everyone that was on that flight and on the connecting flight that had any contact with this woman or sat anywhere close. They're going to try to get them and quarantine them. So you couldn't ask for a better solution to try to handle all this stuff. You know, people, a couple guys on my last video said, stop telling people not to travel, and I haven't told you to do anything. I've said I would not travel right now. That's a decision you have to make. The problem is I think Vietnam's relatively safe. I'm not going to be going out anymore. I went out a few times after there was a 14, 16-day window where there was no new cases, nothing reported. I felt it was okay to go out, you know, like once a week, have a couple beers, and then go home. Now I'll be staying home another 14, 20 days to see what really happens with all this and what outcomes from this, essentially. Hanoi seems to be doing a very proactive job on this. They quarantine the people. They give them 3 meals a day. They give them a comfortable bed. So that's all we can really hope for. So if you are going to be traveling here, it's a decision you have to make. You have to get that health declaration letter. The problem, as I've continued to say in the past few videos, is where is your layover at? Is that going to be a problem? That could become a potential hotspot in a day or two with how quickly these numbers come up. I mean, this lady came from London. So, I mean, no one would think that would be a problem to have a layover in London. Well, and say you don't even get quarantined initially, you get one lady like that or one man, it doesn't matter what race they are, that has the virus, you're going to get quarantined, especially if you're on the flight with them. You're just playing with percentages and chances. It's entirely up to you. They're going to have a meeting on the 11th to decide if they're going to continue on with the F1 race or not. We'll have to see. I imagine if a lot of these people test positive for the corona in Hanoi, they might delay the F1. And it might be a good idea. It could be a good way to not make this spread into the masses, because a lot of people are going to be there. They sold a lot of tickets for this thing. And Vietnam's super pumped for the F1. I mean, I was super pumped for it. So there's 217 people from the flight total that need to be looked at under suspicion. Essentially, they're trying to track down everybody. I don't have the exact number of how many they've tracked down from this flight, but they're really proactive on it. They're literally doing the best they can. If you do come here, like I said, I would bring, you know, face masks. I would bring hand gel. I would bring all that stuff. Make sure that you know what could possibly happen or not happen. Like I've said in the earlier videos, for me, I wouldn't be traveling right now. I've seen a couple other vloggers make some vlogs of is it safe to travel in Vietnam type videos like I did. And a guy yesterday was like, yeah, it's fine, man. Everything's good. You know, they've got 16 cured cases. But we saw immediately in one day, well, overnight into one day, that it was 16 to 20, and then how many are going to come from this 20 to next? And you could shows that how concerned the Viet people got. They went to the grocery store today, not in like a panic, but just in a concern. And The lines are insane. They're like an hour, 2 hour. You should see the pictures. People just crazy. And then in Hanoi, I got pictures of like trucks just loaded with food. Where like you can tell maybe a whole entire like family is going to try to buy food for like a large family for like an entire month. So people are taking it very serious here again now, which is kind of good. Some people are thanking her on the internet for which is not also right, thanking her for making people more aware here again and be a little bit more precautious. I think, and will continue to think until I see otherwise, that Vietnam is pretty much reporting what's going on. They don't want their people to be sick. They don't want their tourists to be sick. I just don't see why it would be a fun time to come here right now. I mean, that would be up to you, like I keep saying, but for me, I couldn't in good faith come here. And I have no plan to go back to America. I have Win here. I would never leave Win, and America's not going to be any better off anyway. So it's all going to be the same everywhere, in my opinion, in like a month or so. It's just be prepared, be smart. Check out Peak Prosperity's channel, like I've said 100 times. Like if you just watch mine and base it off that without watching Peak Prosperity's and then Dr. John Campbell's and seeing guys that have been doing this for 20 plus years, you're not doing a service to yourself. These are all decisions you have to make. Like I said, I wouldn't be too keen about travel right now. What's losing a few $100, maybe $500 to not having a concern the whole time? I mean, a couple people are like, I had a great trip here in February, but the numbers were low then. They had contained it, so this stuff can change undernight. I really hope that this woman's not a super spreader. I hope it's just these few, and they've got everybody quarantined. They went and rounded up all the people from the flight and did the proper health checks on them, but time will tell, and we won't know these things for at least a few days. And I'm glad she's already starting to get healthy. She's got no more fever, which is really good. So everybody's just beating up on her on social media here. They're very mad at her that she didn't take care of her stuff earlier when she first got the cough on the 29th, when she was, I do believe, still in London when she got the cough. So I mean, and she walked around London, she walked around all these airports. She went into the airport business lounge where 27 people were at. And if it's aerosolized, like they said, she can just be sitting, like 4 tables away from you, and you could be infected, especially if she's a super spreader. So that's all I've really got today. I'm not a travel expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of these things. I've never claimed to be, but like I've said in other videos, this isn't the flu. Governments don't take these kind of precautions if it was just the flu. China's going to make it seem like everything's back to normal very quickly in the next few days. They're going to say manufacturing's back, production's back. They're going to start to spread their what they do. They're going to try to make it everyone else's fault. In fact, I already saw today that they were trying to say it's coming from America now, that it was originally came from America. So that's what the CCP does. If you want to trust what the CDC tells you, the WHO and the CCP, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That's like turning on CNN and believing everything CNN says, and the same with Fox. So if you don't like what I have to say, that's okay too. And if you think I'm way off base, that's okay too. That's what we're here for. Everyone's got their own opinions and thoughts on things. I'm entitled to mine. So this is just my thoughts on this thing. Like I said, I'm going to stay in the next few weeks. I'll just go out for whatever's essential. I'll go do my run every day because there's really no one out when I go for a run. So that's what I got for everyone. Be safe. I'll keep you updated if anything changes. If you need anything, you can DM me on Instagram. It's fatandbroke_. Just to add a little extra, just came through the news lines. Not news lines, but through social media. I don't know how credible it is, but some people are reporting that many people surrounding the neighbors in that neighbor street that got quarantined ran to the countryside. I don't know how true that is. I'm not big on reporting on things I can't verify, but I just thought I'd add that in there, just a little food for thought. All right, peace.